Hey, 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 hey! We are live, and our camera is actually not in focus. But boom! There we
Oh,
go.
and
We're in
we're in.
focus, and we're started. How's everyone doing today? Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Not bad, not bad. So for the people who have seen us before, if you are tuned into the stream already, um, you know who I am. I'm Brandon. You know who Don is. That's Don, aka Molotov.
Yep.
Um, But who you aren't familiar with is this strapping young lad we have on the other side of the stream. That is Adam Evans. He is from the Tech and Games Facebook group that we have talked to you guys about and encouraged everyone to check out and join.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like tech and if you like games, I like
Yeah,
tech.
me too.
Do you like games?
Yeah, I think so.
Um, so we're gonna start this new thing. It is going to be the first Saturday of every month, 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's gonna be what the time is for now. It's subject to change depending on how people feel about that. We'll also be posting this up to YouTube.
Ooh, fancy.
Um, so yeah, that's a little bit about us and what we're doing. Streams to Dreams, we do charity streams. We've done a few 48 hours and a couple little other special events like the
Mm-hmm.
Sentinels of the Multiverse multiplayer out of beta 1 year anniversary
Yeah,
thingy.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had played the game a couple times before, but it was cool to play it, on like the digital version.
Yeah,
And that's still available on Steam right now. If you guys are interested in checking it out, if you guys like tabletop games. But yeah, it was a good company.
absolutely. So that's a little bit about us. We'll be announcing some other things in the future. So
Mm-hmm.
follow us on Twitter at Streams4Dreams. And Adam, why don't you tell us a little bit about Tech and Games real quick?
All right, so Tech and Games, we're a community-based kind of group. We started off quite a while ago with my buddy Keith and I. We were always talking about just various stuff, technology, gaming, sharing with our friends. And it got to a point where we were all sharing and talking about the same things, and we figured, why not make a group of this? And since then, it's grown from a couple hundred members to we just broke 1,000 not too long ago. And we actually just launched our website as well, techandgames.gg,
Link is above, right above my head.
which you guys can definitely check out. We're getting a lot of content going up on there and writing a bunch of stuff. Our reviews, our thoughts of things. The Facebook group is great as well. People come in, we'll talk about what's going on with games and what's new in tech too. So new games coming out, we're talking about it. We're getting together with the people, playing games, having fun. It's a great time, and even troubleshooting comes into that as well. We have a lot of enterprise IT people in there, and people that have been working with computers for some time, and people come in and say, "Hey, my computer's not working right," and we help fix that. Um, we never expected it to go out like that, but it's what it's become, and we're really proud of it. We're really proud of the team that we have involved with just keeping things in order, and really excited for this thing with Streams for Dreams, and really excited what they do and to be kind of teaming up to get this stuff done.
Cool. Um, so yeah, I highly urge anyone to check out that Facebook group. You can find them all at techandgames.gg. It's the website. Um, let's get started. Adam, you ready to get started talking about some stuff?
Let's talk about some stuff,
Let's talk.
guys.
Well, first thing we're going to talk about actually is this new Steam controller, since that actually is just now starting to really ship to the main orders of people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the people who ordered it way long ago, like Streams for Dreams member Steve. Actually, Steve got it a couple of weeks ago,
Oh yeah.
and he's let us borrow it for the past couple of weeks. Tinkering around with that. He also got the new Steam Link, and it's it's gonna be bad for all the people who didn't order it so soon because
Mm-hmm.
those don't ship until December. So it's gonna be a
Yeah.
little bit of a wait for everyone else. But if you ordered it, you're gonna be
Mm-hmm.
in really good hands. So we're gonna talk a little bit about the Steam controller, configuring it, stuff like that. And Adam has actually got some experience with the new Xbox One Elite controller. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, the Elite controller.
Which is apparently pretty awesome. I've heard
Mhm.
nothing but great things about it.
Yeah.
From my time with it, something I haven't really experienced with a controller before for all the right reasons. But we'll get more into that later.
Hmm.
Okay. So, before we start discussing it, let's go over exactly what the Steam controller is. This is it. It's got yeah, we have two now. That's right. You got yours.
Ooh,
When did
yeah.
yours come in
Mine came in today.
today.
Yeah, I ordered mine. It was like early October, I think, and it just showed up at my doorstep today.
Okay. So what's really unique about this controller is it has one joystick, kind of like the N64 did, except
Yeah,
instead of
only the one. Right
except instead of having three handles, it has two. So I like to think of this as a combination of the N64 and newer, much better controllers.
there. Hmm.
But what's really unique is these two sections on the side here. For those who don't know, are actually touchpads, like what you would find on a laptop.
Hmm.
I gotta tell you, I've been using it a little bit. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's really freaking weird.
It's a real workout on your thumb. Like if you're trying to play like an FPS or even like a single player FPS, you get a lot of workout trying to use this little thing. Your thumb
Yeah.
just goes crazy.
So normally you would just like move a joystick here, but instead I might be moving it, and it might like stay based on where my finger is pointing, or I might be like sliding my finger over and over a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Um, Adam, you play with a controller a lot, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, mostly. Just a bit more comfortable that way.
Yeah. Do you think you could get used to not just leaning the joystick over, but actually having to like swipe it over?
I really don't think so. It's something that when I was reading reviews on the Steam controllers, it's kind of a big complaint, especially the level of control that it can give. When you get into competitive first-person shooters like Halo 5 or Counter-Strike or things like that, you want that sensitivity and that level of control, and that's been one of the downsides I've been reading. But a lot of strengths elsewhere, though.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I played a little bit of a variety of games with it. I played a first person shooter. It was not easy at all. I tried Counter Strike, which requires very precise movement, which I'm bad at Counter Strike with an Xbox 360 controller.
Hmm.
It was really rough with this.
Yeah, it's definitely not made for FPSs. This is kind of more of your like bringing casual games to your couch. That's what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah, I tried it with Rocket League and Dirt, and it was okay.
Yeah, how
That it
is
was
with,
it was
like racing.
It was
games?
good
That'd
for
be
racing
interesting.
games. I like that a lot, actually. Although I didn't use the touchpads very much.
Hmm.
And I tried it with GTA 5 in third person mode, see how third person felt. And it was a lot better than first person, but still not quite what I think I would want. The big issue with it, though, isn't even how it feels, it's the software. So a lot of games don't support this weird little setup that they got going on here, and configuring it is it's tough.
Hmm.
There's a lot of really weird tweaking where you can make the touchpad act like a joystick or act like a mouse. Not a whole big fan of it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they let you do so much, it's hard to know where to start.
Yeah.
So like you kind of have an idea of how to do things, but you never know. Like there might be something else out there that like haven't really figured out yet, or someone else has figured out and you just haven't found it.
I will say though, I do like the way it feels in the hand. It's very comfortable.
Oh yeah, it's
Um,
weighted really well.
And it has these buttons on the back here. I don't know if Adam, if you knew about these.
Yeah, I was looking those over.
I like these paddles a lot.
Mhm.
These are cool.
Yeah, from other controllers like that, it's something that a lot of people are starting to want to, and it's really
Mhm.
great to have once you get used to them.
Now, with the new Xbox controller, there was some talk about buttons. Like, does it change the buttons at all?
You can remap the buttons completely. I actually have mine.
I meant physically. Like,
Oh.
I thought there was like something special with the triggers and all that.
There's a couple things. Like here's my Elite controller. We were talking about with the buttons is on the bottom here. You have these little paddles.
Okay, so it's got the similar sort of extra buttons on the back that the Steam controller does.
Right, and the thing that's really cool about it too is it came with a total of 4, and you can remove and re-add these on the fly as you wish. Here's an extra one that I'm just going to pop on right there. And now I have extra buttons on there that I can use map to typical other buttons if I wanted to, and play that way.
I honestly didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
it's pretty cool.
Are those metal or plastic?
Those are metal. Everything's held on magnetically.
And how much is that controller?
This is $150. There are bundles out there to get the rechargeable battery pack with it because this is running on 2 Duracells.
Yeah, that's what the Steam controller uses too.
But the downside is I got this on the launch of Halo 5. I started playing it. By the time I was done with my second mission, the batteries were dead.
Ooh.
So battery
Yeah.
life definitely used an improvement. It of course can be wired. It came with a really nice 6-foot cable for that. But
Mhm.
if you want a wireless controller, you want one. But there's so much they did with this. It's just over the top. Like these triggers here, they implemented little hair trigger locks that allow you to adjust the range you have to pull the trigger.
Oh
So if you
wow.
want to do really quick like trigger pulls for say Halo or something like that, you can fully do that. But if you still need the full motion of the trigger for say a game like Forza, it's there as well.
So
And go ahead.
aren't a lot of the modded controllers like that? Where you can
Oh.
like customize how far you have to press it and whatnot?
There are controllers out there, namely Scuff being kind of the big name in that. But at that point you start looking at the price point. The equivalent Scuff model, from my understanding, is $250.
Wow.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and this
Oh,
is
God.
coming in $100 cheaper, and
hmm
you can customize on the fly. Like I'm just gonna pull these 2 thumbsticks off and replace them with longer thumbsticks, and now it acts like a completely new controller.
Wow.
It's absolutely ridiculous the amount you can do with this. And the software, at least when it comes down to playing on the Xbox, is picked up natively by the Xbox. You have a full app you can go into to customize, and you can get absolutely insane with the controls. You can make it so you don't have to move the thumb off the joystick at all. It really is something, like I said earlier, I haven't really seen this before with a controller until I really got this one. I do know it is compatible with it on Windows 10, 7 and 8 as well, I think, but I have not yet gotten a chance to play on PC with this guy yet.
Huh.
But it's fascinating, to say the least.
Interesting. And could you hold that up real quick?
Yeah, of course.
The directional pad, are those like
I'm
How
pretty
does-
sure
how
that's
does
a
that feel?
satellite dish.
It actually feels really great because you look in comparison to my. I can contort this around to a weird angle so you guys can see. I mean, you can see it fits very well, and it lets you hit those diagonals really easily. So if you're playing like a fighting game or something like that, you can get that precise level. And if
hitting
you
the
don't like
diagonals?
the satellite dish comes off,
Oh.
What?
and they included a traditional D-pad as well, and now it's
Is
just
all that
like before.
is all that like magnetically connected?
Yeah, it all clips in via magnets, which
That's
is
awesome.
That's
really
sweet.
nice. It feels great. I mean, I'm gonna shake this a little bit, and nothing's moving.
Mm-hmm.
Magnets, man. Magnets.
Man, that's crazy.
That I like that new D-pad though. It's
Yeah.
definitely easier to hit the corner buttons. It
Mhm.
sounds like, and that's always been one of my biggest complaints. And things that like make you have all your items on a wheel, for example, and you use
Mhm.
that to select which item that you use. Selecting things on this is interesting because you like roll your finger around the touchpad, and it's got this really cool this really well done tactile feedback. I will say the tactile feedback on that, like the haptic feedback, the vibration motors, is amazing. That
Let's
is
see.
probably the best thing that they did with this in terms of hardware, in my opinion.
I don't know if you guys can hear this, but
Yeah,
like moving it around, it gives just tiny little like clips of haptic feedback, and the more you move it, the more it gives you more and more of it.
yeah.
This things are really nice.
So interesting.
You know, for like a touchpad kind of feel, it's really nice because you're used to just not having anything, and so it kind of allows you a little bit of knowledge into like, am I accidentally moving this or not? Because otherwise your finger might slip. You know.
Yeah. what's nice with this, I mean, kind of to counter and come back with the Elite controller, is, and I don't know how well this will translate over my camera or not, but the thumbsticks are textured and everything too, so you have that level of just control over it, and it's not moving anywhere. And the movement on these is instant. Like when you start pushing the stick over,
It's really snappy too.
extremely snappy. It always returns dead center every time.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good. That's important.
Yeah, quick on that too.
Huh.
And then in terms of feedback, really the kind of the downside is in comparison. I mean, you get the feedback on as you're sliding your fingers around. This only has it in the triggers, which is good for some games. Other times it's just kind of there.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of control and feedback on that, I really like that feature on the Steam controller.
Yeah, it's really nice that like on these triggers, that you can, like on the secondary triggers, you can press down to a point and it can actuate some ability, and then you can press it again. Like
Oh,
it's got
yeah.
two different levels of actuation on these secondary triggers.
So like in Rocket League, what I was doing was Rocket League has a boost for those who haven't played Rocket League. There's normal acceleration and there's like a boost when you have like that energy built up. And it's the way it's set up is I pull this trigger in like and it's fine. I pull it in all the way even and I'm accelerating, and then if I pull it just a little bit more till it clicks, I'm activating my boost. And that was really nice to have. I'm really glad that they added that because the only other real controller that I messed around a whole lot with was the 360 controller, and it's very basic.
Yeah.
Once you feel like the Elite or the Steam controller, that sort of controller just doesn't feel like it cuts it anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the point of these, right?
Yeah.
You know, kind of push the envelope as far as controllers go, because they've been the same for a while now. I mean, like even you look at the new PlayStation controllers. Like they have that nice little like touchpad on the front, but like that's basically it when it comes to new things, and then a little bit of that motion sensitivity. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, it would be cool if you could kind of incorporate like all the good elements from all of these different controllers into one, and it would be cool to see like what Brandon was saying, like or what he was saying earlier is that like maybe like the second version of the Steam controller. We'd be interested to see how that goes.
One real
Yeah.
quick. Oh,
Go for
go
it.
for it.
Yeah, I'd really like to see the second version of the Steam controller. They have a really solid platform now with all the new features. It's just a little bit more refinement to really actually cement it as a solid gaming controller.
Yeah.
Especially if it had like more, like if it was compatible with more games, like if more games like really.
Well, that's where Microsoft has the edge right now. Is that they've been refining that controller and games that support it for years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it doesn't take Valve very long to catch up because
Yeah.
I'd like to see a lot of really good players in that market.
Well, I'd say it's a fairly safe bet to assume that your first-party Valve games will end up starting to get that kind of support.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
One actually interesting note along that line with the Elite controllers, just like I showed earlier, you can map those buttons on the bottom, is in the app where you can customize all that, there's actually profiles made by the developers as well, where you can go in and select their kind of ideal controller layout.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really kind of cool. For instance, I jumped right into Forza with this, and I had a layout ready to go from the Forza development team that I think is kind of their preferred.
So that's how the Steam controller is. You bring up the Steam overlay for that game while you're playing the game, and what it does is it pulls up a controller configuration screen, and you can pick out of like control setups that the developer has sort of like recommended. You can also do community ones and sort by like what popular ones are in the community, or build your own, or whatever the default is, like however the buttons are mapped. And I tried it on like 9 different games and didn't find a single one, including Valve games, that had a
Like preloaded.
like a preloaded config. Like none of them actually had configurations made. I think the only one that does is Portal 2.
Oh yeah, because it's a Valve game, and B, you got it for free if you pre-ordered the
But
Steam hardware.
Rocket League didn't have it.
Yeah.
Um, no other Valve game that I tried had it. I tried Left 4 Dead 2, which in Steam Big Picture mode claims it has controller support, which it does,
Hmm.
but not the Steam controller.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of in beta still, like this whole
Yeah.
controller thing. So
I will say this though, the best game that I that I tried it with was definitely Rocket League.
hmm
And speaking of Rocket League, let's just jump to Rocket League for a second. Back to the Future Day was recently, and everyone jumped on board the whole, oh, it's Back to the Future Day, which it actually was this year because it was 2015.
yeah,
They put out a DeLorean car for Rocket League. Is that the most brilliant thing or the stupidest thing ever?
I would say personally, I think it's awesome. But then again, I haven't played a lot of Rocket League. Those people who do play a lot of Rocket League say that everyone is using it, and you just hear that, like, hear those sound effects just nonstop throughout the game. And I mean, from a business standpoint, it's fantastic because everybody's getting it. It was like $4 or something for your DeLorean car DLC. And but for those people who aren't really on top of the or like on board with the Back to the Future franchise, kind of probably gets annoying after a while.
I would
Maybe
get,
even for those who do like Back to the Future.
I might get annoyed by it.
You
I think,
did you get annoyed by it?
a little bit?
A little bit. Okay, see.
But
Yeah, I
I'm,
can see it getting old.
I'm also one of those curmudgeons who's like,
Who
What
uses
is this-
the word curmudgeon?
yeah, I'm one of those. But like, I wasn't really big on the whole make everything Back to the Future related when it
Oh,
shouldn't
so
have been.
overplayed.
So like, I was really big on the whole. Nike did something that was awesome. It
Mhm.
made sense. Pepsi did something. I thought that made a lot of
Mhm.
sense. Companies like that, but everyone jumping aboard. I thought they were just like capitalizing on the franchise, not really being relevant.
Yeah, and once everybody does it, it's no like you're not generating any extra like support or like audience for your like channel or whatever it is. It's just not more white noise, you know.
Yeah.
Yep, that's kind of how I felt about it.
Was okay. So they did make a hoverboard, right? Didn't Lexus make a hoverboard?
Lexus has a hoverboard.
Hoverboard
Yeah,
prototype that came out that can only run on the special track or whatever that they set up.
Is it? Okay.
yeah. Well, it has to be over like metal or some sort of metal.
Okay.
Um,
So at least we got that this year too, as terms of like
yeah,
Back to the Future
it's a
things.
big step in the right direction. There have been 2 attempts at the hoverboard recently.
Mhm.
One was done and it was kind of janky. The other one was done by Lexus and they built like a whole little skate park for it,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
looks kind of dope.
Yeah.
I would totally try it.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. Why
Well,
wouldn't you? It's a freaking hoverboard.
You know what else is futuristic? And it has to do
Ooh.
jetpacks, hoverboards, and jetpacks. That is like the future of transportation, right?
Oh yeah,
That's
totally. Because that's what we need is 10
That-
car pileups, but in the sky.
Then it would be a car
Outside,
pile up,
just raining hoverboards
Tent.
in your lawn.
Yeah.
a 10 jetpack.
Yeah, they would all crash at the same time.
So, in Rocket League, you can actually like jump up and shoot your boost, and you like fly through the air. It's actually a lot of fun. Really tough to do. I suck at it. I just sort of fly into a wall and then fall over and start driving again because flying and me not so good. But actually, so this whole thing with like hoverboards and jetpacks is sort of starting to become a reality. I mean, Lexus is doing a pretty damn good job with the hoverboard.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam, did you see the video with the jetpack that
I did.
that Dubai airline put out?
Yeah.
So let's actually, for any people watching that haven't seen this yet, it's a quick video. We're just gonna show it to you really quick. And view this thing with the jetpacks. It is really cool. All right, look at these guys. Look at these guys. Those aren't jets. Those are jet packs.
That would be pretty sweet. It's like freaking Iron Man.
Yeah, right?
Dude, that's next level. Next thing you're gonna see is those things sponsored by Red Bull.
I think Red
Because
Bull,
Red Bull
already
gives you wings.
Yeah, I think Adam's right. I think Red Bull already does something like this. But I was kind of hoping in this video, I keep thinking like, land on the wing, land on the wing. But the fact that they're keeping up with this plane is nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the plane isn't going full speed or anything, but just
the fact that they're able to go and keep up with it. Is
Yeah.
really mind-blowing.
now I'm scared of heights. I would probably die if I even thought about trying something like this, which is
Oh,
why I'm
yeah,
not thinking about it.
It's one of those things I'd absolutely love to do, but I think if you strapped the jetpack on me and got ready to say go for it, I think I'd probably chicken out at the last minute. Or I just get up in the air and look down and just absolutely crap my pants.
Exactly. Like I don't know if I could handle that.
I'll stick with roller coasters for now.
I can't even do roller coasters, man. Roller coasters scared the hell out of me. You're like flying everywhere. This is just bad. But Don, would you try? Would you ride on one of those? Would you try that?
Oh, hell yeah.
What? You would die.
How would I... Those guys were fine, I think.
They ended the video before they crashed. I promise.
Oh, God.
Like
No, yeah, why wouldn't you? Fly through the sky? That'd be amazing. I would be super, super nervous on my first time through, but like second and third time, it'd just be like second nature. I don't know. I'm meant to take to the skies.
Are you a bird at heart?
No, I'm
Scaw!
freaking... It's
Scaw!
Scree!
Scream.
We're not talking about games or Tekken games anymore. We're talking about bird sounds. Anyways,
Knock knock.
who's there?
Interrupting pterodactyl.
I don't want to. Interrupting pterodactyl.
Oh god.
That's neither Technor games either.
Dinosaurs, man.
That's
Actually,
dinosaurs.
huh?
What?
Let's say actually they're not dinosaurs, they're pterosaurs.
Thank you for that. Science bit.
The more you
Now
know.
now we need to rename the thing, and it's
No science
Tech
at the
and Games and Science Show.
Tekken games and dinosaurs and pterosaurs, I guess. Alright. So jetpacks. Really cool stuff. Now to sort of fly through the air like that and handle that sort of speed, those things gotta be pretty durable, right? Like they're
Oh, yeah.
pumping out a lot of power back there.
Mhm.
Probably get engines revving like crazy. Speaking about durable, there's a phone that just came out called the Droid Turbo 2. It's under that name exclusively on Verizon, but on the rest of the world, it's like the Motorola Force or something like that.
Okay.
But this thing is nuts. This thing, it's a pretty beefy phone, and it's got decent software. But every phone has like, oh, you know, I got good software, and I got a good processor. This thing's display doesn't shatter.
Yeah.
Now, after a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean a lot, it might start to dent. But that's it. It's still completely usable. The touch part, I can't remember the name of it, underneath the screen. What's it called?
The digitizer?
Digitizer. That's it. Still works. It's insane. Adam, have you ever broken a phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that a recent development?
No, not really.
Well,
I was kind of dumb and figured, hey, it's a Nokia, it won't break.
Yeah, well, I guess it's not 2002 anymore.
Right.
well, this new Droid Turbo.
It's bringing the era of unbreakable phones back.
Now we need to get this screen on a Nokia phone, because Nokia's like it's basically just the screen is the issue at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is still a brick. So, with this screen and this glass on a Nokia phone, you could probably kill someone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
I mean-
yeah, that sounds about right.
It would be a brick.
You could fly in a jetpack and drop it on people.
Yeah, we could probably drop a penny from that height and. No,
I
except
wonder what the terminal velocity of a penny is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's not enough to kill somebody. I don't think.
The Empire State Building, and it reaches its terminal velocity, and it won't kill anyone.
Yeah, that's
well-
that's what I thought.
Penny won't work then. It
You'd
might
have to
sting a little.
spin it.
Might sting a little bit though.
Yeah, if you spun
Well,
it would get a faster terminal velocity.
Would it?
Yeah. Well, that's what they do with bullets. The barrels spin the bullet, so it'll go faster. I mean, it's not a sphere anymore.
It's
Even if you spun a sphere, it would. be
that's
more
also for
accurate.
stability.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's not just for speed; it's for stability.
Yeah,
Keep from wobbling around.
yeah, that's the idea.
You don't want bullets wobbling around. Then they don't. Then they go and hit things that they shouldn't be hitting.
Exactly.
That's bad. Less Tom is there.
Just saying, spin the penny. Anyways, shatterproof screen, pretty crazy. Now more phones need to pick this up because
Yeah.
There's, I was looking into that a little bit. There was one downside I saw to it.
What?
So the screen itself is pretty much, instead of going with glass, it went with plastic. And the downside that I was showing was that it's easy to kind of get it scuffed up and get scratches on the screen.
Huh.
Motorola and all them, they do have an answer to it though. Is the outer layer that gets scratched up is easy enough for anyone to remove, and they're going to start selling those additional outer layers standalone, so you can basically buy it as a screen protector.
nice.
That doesn't sound that bad actually.
Well, that's like figuring out your
Make
issue
more money.
and then patching it like that. Like people aren't going to be upset about that. Like as long as you're upfront about the issue.
And as long as it's easy,
Yeah.
because most people try and put
we're
on.
buying screen protectors anyway.
Yeah, and most people when they try to put on screen protectors, I am very, very picky when I put on screen protectors.
Oh yeah.
When I put on a screen protector, there are no bubbles. There's nothing misaligned. It is beautiful. Lots of people don't take the time to do that. And they end up ruining the screen protector.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if a lot of people are going to want to go through that.
Well, I mean, it might be something as easy as just like if it's too scuffed up, just take it into your local
Verizon store.
Verizon store or like any other cell
Just-
phone
Do this for me.
and say, "Hey, I need a new screen protector here. Do it for me." And then you have at least a semi-professional touch. Put it on.
My family
Yeah,
always
lots
says
of videos of
do
people
this.
doing it too. It's really easy too. You pretty much just peel up an edge of it and pop it off, put the new one on.
Mm-hmm.
There's no adhesive or anything like that, and I mean it's part of the phone's screen, so it's designed to go on there.
Oh. Huh.
So it should be easier.
Actually, one of the guys I used to work with just bought one. I'm going to have to ask him a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems they tried to make it idiot-proof, so it should be very straightforward. It should just fit right in.
Well, that's how you make a good cell phone is you make it idiot-proof.
Well,
I mean-
just make a better idiot.
Yeah, well, that's out of
Oh.
most people's control, or most companies' control.
We can just get rid of the idiots. We're,
That's-
we're not going to talk about purging
that's-
idiots
yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
We could.
I was about to say that might be more of a history lesson than anything else.
You guys see horror stories.
So I'm trying to find segues between things. Segues are weird. Segues are really cool though. But
Yeah.
segues are weird. And speaking of things that are durable,
That was your last segue.
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm using the same thing. I can reutilize segues as much as I want.
That's true.
Things need to be really, really durable to survive a nuclear holocaust.
That's true. Or they need to be like cockroaches or something.
Can't build a house out of cockroaches. William Height.
Yeah, you could.
You're the cockroach whisperer.
I don't know if I'd want that superpower.
No. Well,
I feel
maybe.
like this was like an episode of Family Guy at some point.
Oh
I mean,
gosh,
if
or
you
The
were-
Simpsons because they've got an episode of everything.
If you were the cockroach whisperer, though, and it was a nuclear holocaust, one of the key
Oh, man.
things that are still there, you could take over the world.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The Nokia bricks will rise again.
Right?
We're gonna
Rise of the Machines. Who cares about Skynet? It's freaking Nokia phones.
Do you think a Nokia phone would survive a nuclear explosion? I think it might.
Only if it was like strapped to your wrist,
Like a
If it was
Like a
Chuck
Pit
Norris's
Boy.
like a
Fallout.
Pit Boy. Yeah.
yeah, that's a all these things are relating to Fallout for some reason.
Weird.
Speaking of Fallout, what comes out in 3 days? Fallout New Vegas? No, that's already out.
Right.
Oh, it's been out.
That's been out for way too long.
Fallout 5?
Nope. You're getting closer though.
Fallout 4.
Yes.
Fallout 4.
Game to break all other games.
Is that what it's going to be?
I don't know. That game has so many different aspects to it.
You know,
It needs to come out, or at least like some streamers need to start looking or like playing it so I can really get a feel for it more so than like trailers. But
I
you know,
thought about Fallout 4 today.
they
Black
just-
Ops 3 just came out.
Yeah,
And
it looks interesting.
luckily for most people, all the Call of Duty games take like a couple hours to get through.
Mm-hmm.
So they can plow through that in like under 15 hours. And then Fallout 4 is going to come out and they're going to be ready for another game. So it's like back to back, really good.
Yeah.
When Fallout 4 came out before Call of Duty, I think Call of Duty still would have sold a ton, but would have been kind of screwed in terms of how many people were playing it.
Oh, yeah.
Because how many hours can you put in Fallout? A lot.
Oh my gosh, with this new game,
I mean,
there's
even the
so
other ones.
much. It's
are-
like half MMO.
Yeah.
well, it's a Bethesda game.
Well, oh yeah, I mean,
It's like
obviously.
playing any other Fallout game or any of the Elder Scrolls games. It's just so open ended.
Yeah, but it's got like this like Ark Minecraft feel. Like you can build your own house, like in that sort of style. You know?
So at E3 they were. Adam, did you watch E3 at all?
I did watch it.
Huh?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So they demoed the whole house building thing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks sweet.
It really does. It's something I can. If I get Fallout 4, that's gonna be one of the things I'm gonna spend a lot of time doing is building houses and cities and then blowing them up.
just
Spend all this
for
time.
destruction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that time, just to let it all end. That would be a lot of fun though, and I'm really excited to try out Fallout 4.
Yeah.
I put a decent amount of hours into Fallout 3, and I've always loved the Elder Scrolls games. Fallout 3 was the first Fallout game that I really got into.
Mhm.
I feel like that was a big opener to the Fallout series for a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of people. That game got bigger than I feel all the other ones did
Mhm.
by a large margin.
Yeah, it really led into like New Vegas being a success too.
Yeah, I mean they released on consoles too, with a really stable release there, which the other Fallout games sort of lacked in that category. And I got a whole new demographic like playing that game, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Really explodes the series.
And I think that's why Fallout 4 is turning into a really great game, is because like Fallout 3 and like New Vegas were like such major successes that it really like gave them the money and the like confidence to move forward with Fallout 4 and really give it all of these bells and whistles to make it kind of like a very expansive game for like multiple demographics of people. Like you could like MMO like survival type games like with Ark or
But it's not an MMO.
Ark?
No, Fallout.
No, well, that's what I mean. Like, it's got that
Oh,
aspect.
like that-
so
that,
if you
like,
like those
open-
kind of games, that it's open ended like that, and you can kind of customize it at will. Like that is really going to play into those kind of people. And then it's also got good like first person aspects, and hopefully, I mean, just based on trailers, it's got a fantastic story.
Speaking of
I
trailers,
was actually reading with the first person aspect that some of the gunplay was a little bit influenced by Destiny.
huh?
Okay,
I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to play Destiny, probably, maybe.
a little bit.
I mean, the gunplay is fantastic. It plays
Mhm.
very well. So if they take Fallout and then add those refinements to it, plus everything else, it's the game to beat.
It. I have some
Honestly,
friends-
I think it is. I think Fallout 4 is the game to beat.
I think it'll become the game to beat.
Yeah.
Once it drops, I think that will be like everyone's gonna scramble to like top that. And
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be tough.
It will be.
my biggest complaint right now though about it, given that I haven't played it because it's not out, is the Institute. Now the Institute is like the baddies. They're the organization that you like are sort of like against in Fallout 4. And is the Institute too cliche? Like just having like this mega thing that like this organization that's like against you and you're trying to take them down. Like,
I mean, I suppose it could have a more cliche name. I mean,
The
I think
Institute?
it's vague. I mean, it's not like it's the like Spanish Inquisition or anything.
see, when I think of the Institute, I think it's like a college. I'm like, are you trying to like stop education in a nuclear wasteland? I mean, people need to learn.
Or maybe they're trying to teach you the things they want you to learn.
Sounds like America.
Oh my gosh.
I think the story itself is going to explain a little bit more of that. I
Yeah.
mean, you look at just about any major enemy organization, just about any game, they always have a vague name. I mean, the Covenant, the Locusts, the Horde, things like. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's meant to be vague and intimidating, right?
yeah. And then as you get into the games more, you figure out how those organizations or whatever got to where they are, and like the little bit of the lore behind it and why it's
Mhm.
like that. And it's Fallout. The lore is going to be there. It's going to be ridiculous, and I'm interested to see where that comes from in the universe.
Oh yeah. I will say Bethesda actually like notoriously does an amazing job with their lore and tying everything together from Fallout to the Elder Scrolls. Everything
Yeah.
just is so well tied together.
Mhm.
I've played a lot more Elder Scrolls than I have Fallout, and I remember like especially in Oblivion, I read every single book that was in the game.
That's
It was
insane.
it took a lot of time and like there's so much lore to be found and it's so well done. You're right. I should really wait and see how they sort of like tie everything in and
Mhm.
make it fit in the Fallout universe before I start judging it too heavily.
Yeah.
I mean, for all we know, the Institute, it could be a bunch of people that, since it's based in on the East Coast, could be a bunch of people from like your Ivy League colleges that got together, thought they figured out how to run the world, and are tyrannical dictators that meant to destroy everyone. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of, like you said, with it possibly being education and whatnot. There's a lot that could factor into it, and all we can do right now is speculate.
Gosh, if that was the case, I can just imagine like everything's gone to hell, but all we're concerned about is if you are running the. We won't have Democrats and Republicans in the Institute. It would be Harvard and Princeton people
Oh my
in the
gosh.
Institute. That's who you're voting for.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, I don't.
Too bad those would get destroyed during the apocalypse too.
That's what
Yeah.
you think. Well, MIT, I think, would survive. MIT, the tech that they have there, they probably like secretly have this like shield bubble that something bad's about to have. They just press a button, it's all just protected.
Mhm.
We should get that.
Yeah.
Let's build one. How do you?
I've heard something.
They have those in Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's
We'll
very
just,
realistic.
We'll go find a few Gungans and all that stuff, and use their fancy stuff. And
Let's not talk about Gungans, okay?
okay.
Jar Jar Binks.
No.
Dude, it's
We are not going
I
to
love
talk about
it.
that. That's the dumbest thread ever.
it is the best theory I've ever read.
Oh my gosh.
I hate you so much right now.
That's good because
like-
I hate you more.
Like, how do you not love that theory?
Because it's the
If they
dumbest.
do that theory at the very end of all of that, there just has to be the moment where like the mask comes off and Jar Jar, in typical Jar Jar Binks fashion, says something really just absurd.
I'd be okay with that.
I don't
I
know.
would
I read.
want to just have like GoPros set up in the theaters to watch the reactions of the midnight showing.
Yeah.
That's but even doing that is even more reason to have that happen.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
They
all
should.
right,
They
so-
should like the midnight showing should be different than the actual movie, where they actually have Jar Jar be the ultimate Sith Lord for I don't know why
So,
reason.
but here's the thing. Here's the thing.
An
In-
April Fool's release.
In the prequel,
Oh yeah.
in the prequels, they actually them like setting Jar Jar up and then not doing anything with him is totally plausible given other things that they dropped from it. I mean, Darth Maul in the first one was just some silent character who had a couple scenes and then fought them. When in reality, he was originally supposed to be this super philosophical, highly intelligent like Sith, and they dropped that entirely. Why could this not have happened with Jar Jar once the perception of him was the way it was? I mean, totally could have been a true concept that got dropped.
See, I could kind of see that. Like, I'm not sure why they dropped that whole thing with Darth Maul, but for Jar Jar, I guess I can understand why they would want to drop it, because after that first, like, movie, you just hated it.
Yeah.
Like, they hated him.
Yeah, because he was comic relief. But that
Well,
was
yeah.
that's his whole point. He's supposed to throw you off. Hey, he's comic relief. He's family friendly. He makes the kids laugh, and then all of a sudden he's the badass cutting people down.
I don't know. I think it would be a terrible move. I think it would ruin the Star Wars franchise. And by the way, I read that whole thread, and
I think people like you ruin the Star Wars franchise.
why? Because I discredit these outlandish like
No.
fan conspiracy
Anyways, so
theories.
you read the whole thread and what?
I thought that a lot of what they were saying about how he's got all these like force powers that he's like accidentally, or not accidentally, but like subtly using is very like, it wasn't really supported by anything.
Other than the footage from the film.
I watched the footage from the film that could have very easily be like explained otherwise.
That's what you think.
Like, they're talking about like he did this like 20-foot vertical double flip
He
into
did,
the water.
though.
He was made. Okay, first of all, he's not human, so it's possible that he's got those strong of limbs to do something like that. And second of all, it wasn't 20 feet in the air, it was maybe 10.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I think
Jar Jar is the worst Sith Lord ever, if that's the case. Like, why the heck would he be fighting against like the droids in the first place? Was he did he want that rebellion to fail, or did he want that
it's all
thing
long
to fail?
term, dude. Long
Oh my
term.
gosh! Yeah. Well,
My big reason for liking this theory
Palpatine
though
did that.
is all about, instead of calling him Jar Jar Binks, being able to call him Darth Binks.
oh my gosh!
It's literally all I care about at this point. The names.
See, I'm okay with the name.
I like.
I'm
the
okay
name.
with you liking it, but only because of the name.
Also everything else, but
No, it's terrible.
all right. Let's what?
Please don't let that be a reality.
We've gotten ridiculously off topic, or just move on.
All right. Let's.
Technically, that was on topic. We just went out of order a little bit.
No. I actually had that removed.
Oh, did you?
Let's flip some of the topics around in terms of
Anyways.
order though, because since we talked briefly about Star Wars, let's jump real quick to the Death Star, not the Star Wars Death Star,
Not the one you're familiar with.
but
A recently discovered one.
the star that is the harbinger of death
Yes.
could be coming for you,
Yeah, right?
or you, or you.
It's a white dwarf that is cannibalizing a planet in its solar system.
Yeah.
Because a white dwarf is a star that nova'd, and that's just the small remnant of it. And the planet survived, but is now being ripped apart by the gravitational pull of this white dwarf star.
I think
And so it's literally a Death Star, and it's literally destroying planets. And it's one of the coolest things that they discovered in science recently, if not the coolest.
It's ridiculous. I mean, we kind of theorized it before, but now that we found it, it's just kind of like, holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want this. I want a Death Star in our galaxy, so I can view it with a telescope.
Just wait a couple million years.
Yeah, because I'll be alive in a couple million years.
Who knows? Maybe the singularity will happen.
Okay, I'm banking on that. If that doesn't happen, then I'm gonna be pissed.
By the way, speaking of Death Stars, there's another cool little thing I'm going to go off and sort of off topic with.
Are we talking about
Apparently,
Kepler right now?
Jupiter is a death planet because
Oh, yeah.
there's gravitational evidence that Jupiter ejected another gas giant like Neptune out of the solar system.
It's like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it was like early in like the formation of the solar system.
It's
The-
like, hey, I'm just gonna come up next
Nope.
to you. Phew. You're
Tossed it
out.
right out. Jupiter's awesome because it also does a lot of like asteroid blocking and stuff for like the inner planets, and it's why like Earth. It's part of the reason why Earth is so habitable and why Mars kind of is. So it's pretty cool.
Well, did you actually see the new thing NASA put out about Mars and its atmosphere I think on Thursday?
Is it about more water?
No,
'Cause if they find more water on-
something completely new for you guys then.
They
Oh.
just found more evidence of their like it was a lot more likely that there were like full oceans of water.
Because if
That
they
I
find
heard
if they
about.
find any more water on Mars, there's gonna be more water on Mars than California.
Yeah, pretty soon they're gonna start importing it.
No, Adam,
Probably
what
is more water.
what were you
than
saying about that,
California.
NASA had a probe that's been orbiting Mars for a couple of years now, taking various samples and whatnot. And they actually found out that the Martian atmosphere used to actually be a fairly sustainable atmosphere. It was
Mhm.
fairly, if I'm not mistaken, carbon dioxide and nitrogen based. But
Okay.
the atmosphere was there, which then allowed for that liquid water to happen. And right now, there isn't really much of an atmosphere at all. What they found out happened is that there was a major solar storm that hit Mars and pretty much ionized all the particles in the atmosphere, and they left. Essentially, they were just
They were just
sand
blown
left
away.
off the planet.
That
Yeah.
sucks. Maybe some of them landed on Earth, and that's why we have water.
Well, I think part of the reason why we're okay, because like on Earth, is that we've got that rotating core that gives us our magnetic field, and that blocks a
Yeah.
lot of those solar winds.
Yeah, all that
And
radiation.
I don't think Mars has that.
No,
Or-
it doesn't. Which is why Elon Musk actually, technological genius, by the way. I love that guy.
Yes.
I kind of have a man crush on Elon Musk. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
I'm glad I'm not the only one in the world like that.
But his whole thing, he got a lot of flack from some people for being like, "Oh, let's nuke the
Ice caps
no
of Mars.
on Mars
Yeah.
the ends on Mars, and everyone's like, oh, that's crazy. Like, why would you do that? That would ruin Mars. It's like, well, long term though, that would create that sort of like field that they would need, that sort of like protection from solar radiation long term.
Yeah.
Not something that we could like do that and it become a habitable atmosphere for humans, but more likely for us to
Yeah.
inhabit it
Colonize it.
long term.
Mhm.
If we were to colonize it now, though, we'd have to be in like
Domes.
domes and stations,
Yeah.
which are sweet.
By the way, speaking of Mars, did you guys know that the Curiosity robot sang itself "Happy Birthday"?
Yeah,
NASA techs found out like these different like robotic like the different movements made different sounds, and synchronized them, timed it out so it would
Wait.
sing itself.
I thought it
"Happy
had a
Birth-"
speaker on it.
No,
Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
that's what NASA techs do. Is they build these awesome robots, and they're like, "Well, we've got some free time to kill. Let's figure out how to make it sing itself happy birthday."
Like, hey, this wheel makes this squeak, this wheel makes this squeak. Squeak them in the right order.
Yeah, exactly.
That's sweet.
It's like if you press the buttons on your phone or the numbers on your phone in the correct order, like it'll play a song.
I haven't
That's-
done that in a long time.
Yeah, that's that sort of thing. But it's pretty cool. And by the way, that's the first song ever sung on Mars, and it was by a robot, and it was awesome.
Was
The
it-
first song ever played was that one by will.i.am. I forget which one it was.
Wait, they chose a Will.i.am
Yeah,
song.
right. I'm so upset about that. I'm so much happier about the happy birthday thing.
They could have done like, I don't know, something better.
Yeah,
Could have done
exactly.
Justin Bieber. Why wouldn't you have the
It was
Biebs play on Mars?
Oh my god, that would be even worse. At least will.i.am is kind of in the Black Eyed Peas.
I guess, but Justin Bieber just made a song with Halsey.
Ugh,
Actually, that doesn't help.
no. Anyways,
Let's not have Justin Bieber on Mars. Unless we
let's
just send
segue
him
to
to
something
Mars.
else, so we're not accidentally.
Segways are weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Segways are really weird.
Watch yourself, or you'll be floating home.
So the Mars Curiosity rover, this actually was an amazingly horrible but genius idea that I saw recently, and that is we used to have Twitch plays Pokemon, and then they recently just did Twitch installs Arch Linux.
Which is
Twitch
awesome.
drives the Curiosity rover.
Oh my!
How does that
gosh.
sound? The
Rest
hardest
in
part would be
Curiosity.
timing, like sending the commands to it between the Twitch chat because of that delay.
Oh yeah.
But oh my gosh, if we could have Twitch control the Curiosity rover, I would be.
They could make a digital version of it, because I'm sure we have like topographical scans of Mars.
I don't want a digital version. I want
Well, yeah.
I want
but
a
that
crowd
would reduce
control.
the lag.
No, I want a crowd
talk
control.
about stream lag.
the Curiosity rover. I want to crowd control it.
I feel like that sounds like a Big Bang Theory premise. Oh wait, it was
What was?
someone else controlling the Mars rover.
Just because you have control over it. No, I want like
A bunch of
100
12-year-olds.
150,000 people say forward or left or right or scoop this or something. And it
I
happens.
think we just need more of the Old Spice. Put a man in the woods and let Twitch chat control him.
That was great. For those who don't know, Old Spice put a guy with like a head camera on and put him in the woods with a bunch of random items and whatnot, and had the Twitch chat give him commands and like where to walk and what to do. Dude, people can be kind of screwed up though.
Yeah.
Like
Half of them are like
there
12.
was a teddy bear. They were like, rip the head off the teddy bear, and then some people were like, now put its head back on and apologize. Like, what the hell is going on here? You guys are so weird. Which is why I want them to control the Curiosity rover. I mean,
What would they do?
what did they do? They'd explore the stuff that NASA's too wimp to explore.
Too wimp.
Yeah, NASA's
Oh
a
my
bunch of
gosh.
wimps.
No,
I'm just
they're
kidding.
not.
NASA's great.
NASA's fantastic. We need to fund that more. Because
Yeah.
that's long term there. NASA's long term.
NASA
stuff.
is involved in like every sort of technology that I could think of.
Yeah.
Like
They made Tang. What more could you want?
microwaves. Your microwave without NASA, pfft, good luck.
Memory foam.
I was about to say, yo, Tempur-Pedic bed. No, I kind of don't. I want one though. I don't have one.
That's a personal preference.
have a
thing. We're
memory
just
for-
talking about things that are like, so like universal that we deal with now. That is all like started out as NASA tech.
Would games be really like? Would gaming consoles and computers and whatnot be where they are without NASA?
Probably
Who
not.
knows? I think they would to a degree. NASA's done a lot though.
Mm-hmm. NASA's pretty sweet.
Curiosity rover is a robot.
Yes, it is. It probably uses some sort of like software, firmware to control it too, right?
Duh.
Duh.
And NASA's a pretty NASA makes some pretty good robots.
Sure.
There are also some pretty bad robots.
Yeah.
There was
Isn't
actually
that Abrams studio, by the way?
what was that?
Isn't that the studio J.J. Abrams uses? Bad Robot?
Yeah, it is. It is. I think
Okay, so we will have Darth Binks.
Darth Binks confirmed.
Yes.
Um,
Anyway, carry on.
Star Wars actually has some pretty good robots. R2D2, C3PO.
That new one.
Yeah, the new one. I can't remember what it's called, but it's awesome, and it's
Did
made
you-
by the
Is it
Sphero
I think
guys.
it's like BB-8 or something like that.
Did you
Yeah, that.
Did you see that webcomic that was like, this is what happened when R2D2 stuck its probe in the
Death
data
Star.
port of the Death Star, and that's the robot you got from it?
Those things you can actually buy those from Sphero, and they work. You control them with your phone via Bluetooth. It's pretty awesome, actually.
I want one.
Yeah, they're adorable. You can buy one off Amazon, I think.
They're like
Uh,
$150 though.
are they that much?
Yeah, they're not cheap. I was gonna buy one, and then I saw the price, and I'm like, no.
Oh my
Kind
god.
of, it's similar technology to like a Segway or whatever those new like.
Yeah, it's
stand-
self-balancing.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool. But some robots are not as good as those. Some
No.
are really shitty. Let's take a look at actually our shitty robot of the month. That would actually be this one right here.
I love breakfast machines.
All right,
There's a lot of precedent set for this.
let's watch this. Nice try.
I got some in the bowl. I got some in the bowl.
Let's get it. Does it get it? What's got the
The
spoon?
duct tape.
It's not scooping anything. She still took a bite from it. Like,
Done.
so that was like the situation with like a little kid where he's not doing anything useful or anything at all actually, but you humor them anyways.
Mhm.
Just like scooped up the cereal, but nothing was there, and just took a bite of air just to make the robot happy. What a nice robot owner.
Yeah.
And actually, you guys can actually see more information on that. There's a Vice article in their motherboard section that the creator of that robot wrote, including how they made it and why, and
I'm
stuff
really
like
interested in the
that.
why.
because that way you can use both your hands while you're eating your cereal. Duh.
Yeah.
While you're eating your cereal, huh?
Yeah. I'm stuffed up.
That's fine. You just sounded extra nerdy right there. So
So that's our shitty robot of the month.
Yeah.
Would you use one if it worked properly? Do you think? If you would build one and use it, maybe?
yeah, maybe. It would be interesting because it would give you some free time, but how much time is it really saving you for like how much that robot would cost, you know? Like maybe down the line when they're like dirt cheap, like years and years from now, but like you're spending $150 to save like for a robot like that to save you like give you an extra like 4 minutes to like read while you're eating your cereal or something. Like is that really gonna like make that much of a difference in your day?
Oh, maybe. Adam, would you use it?
Probably not. I'd have to clean up after it. And,
Would you like get robots in your house though that could like bring you drinks and
Kind of Fallout 4 style.
yeah, they have those in
Really?
hotels now.
Floating robots
No,
that could do stuff for you.
servant robots. Have you guys
Is
seen
that, is
those?
that like a new 6-star feature? 6-star hotel?
No, like there's a lot of these in California actually, and
Oh, good old
They-
California.
they like have these wheels on a tray and a touchscreen on them, and you can like tell it what you want, and it'll go back and forth around all the rooms, and it'll like knock on your door and let you know when it's there. It's so cool. It'll bring you stuff. You don't have to go down to the concierge or whatever.
Well, isn't that what? Like,
It is like a robot concierge.
Okay.
It's amazing. You want one? I want one in my house. Can we get one?
Mm.
We're gonna get one.
Oh, you might make some people angry because you're stealing jobs from people who could actually do that.
Well, they're not as cute as robots.
Some of them might be.
he's got a point there.
But that some of them might be, or that they're not as cute as robots. Dude,
Well, some
little,
of them might be.
I don't know, man. Little robots are so cute. It's like adorable. It's like a little Sphero thing. People would not like that if it was not adorable. All right, they might like it a little bit. They wouldn't like it as much.
Maybe if it was badass.
It is badass, and it's cute. I don't know.
Anyways,
I want robots all over the place. I think robots would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
and we wouldn't even have to pay them.
Yeah. You save more money. They're cost effective long term.
As long as they don't break.
Eh.
We just all need a Bender robot. Just Bender.
Because we just need things bent so often. It's so inconvenient.
No, just Bender for Futurama.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
He bends. That's about it. He can bend things.
He also introduces blackjack and hookers into everything, and I think we need more blackjack and hookers in life. But that's a discussion for another time. So actually, Neo Durs, who I think is Andrew,
Yes.
asks how we feel about battle droids. So, like, robots doing fighting for us and whatnot. It's pretty cool. Fun fact, one of my clients, whom I cannot name, actually builds battle bots.
Like like a military style one, or just like ones to fight other robots in like an arena,
They started the BattleBot show back up.
which is awesome.
And it got renewed for season 2, I think. But, no, there's a...
Oh, it does say BattleBots. They didn't say battle droids. I'm sorry. The screen's kind of far away right now. Sorry, Andy.
I mean,
But yeah,
there's, like,
BattleBots.
a local school in the region, I forget which one it is, that kind of does this competitive thing for one of their science classes with BattleBots, and my client kind of helps fund it and whatnot. It's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
We should build a BattleBot.
we should.
Streams for Dreambot.
Oh my gosh.
It wrecks other people's dreams. That's what it does.
It either makes your dream come true, or it totally destroys your dreams.
That's really cool though.
If it
Like,
doesn't win, then our dreams are dead.
so then we get into this really weird, like, philosophical, like, once robots get like really good artificial intelligence built into them, is it acceptable to make them fight against each other? Is it like cruel? I think it's okay, personally, but I'm kind
Are you
of an
saying
ass.
robots don't have souls?
Robots don't have souls.
Are they-
I'm saying it now.
Oh,
I don't think
gosh.
robots have souls.
I don't
In
know.
20 years, when robots gain sentience, they're gonna look back on this moment. They're gonna come find you.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's-
you just screwed yourself.
yeah, I really need to change the launch phrase on my phone. My phrase on my phone to launch it is "Okay, robot slave."
And there
And
it
there it
beeps.
goes. There it goes.
Also, the Google robots already know that you hate them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's not a hate. It's more of a playing around, or at least that's what I'm gonna tell them when they try and take over the world. I was just playing around. Like I called John a, I don't know, jerk or something. It's the same thing. Like I don't mean it. Like I
I don't know if they understand sarcasm just yet.
Well, then they're not good enough to run the world.
Well, they might rise up before they develop sarcasm.
We just can't let that happen.
Definitely sarcastic.
We'll just
That-
teach them
see-
sarcasm.
Yeah, I was about to say that's how we're gonna prevent like
What was that, Adam?
So Cortana's now starting to listen because I said Cortana.
no, I was gonna say that's how we prevent like a Terminator style apocalypse from happening. Is we just need to teach them sarcasm before anything else, and then everything will be fine.
See, the problem with that is once the robots know sarcasm, they might not know how to use it properly.
Well, that's part
the
of
whole,
teaching them
That's the
it.
whole point. But what'll happen is, let's say we're using this artificial intelligence robot, and it's supposed to be giving us information, and it makes a snarky remark about like some scientific bit of information that if I was to say it, it'd be like, oh yeah, it's that number, obviously. But they say it, they don't get the sarcasm quite perfect, and we actually go based on like their scientific fact that robot discovered.
That's okay. Then we'll just teach them how to insult us because we were dumb enough to believe them.
Can we just like put your like? We need to like figure out a way to extract certain aspects of people's mind, like just extract someone's sarcasm and like plug it into a computer. That'd pretty.
You ever watch the show Dollhouse? Joss Whedon show, amazing
Yeah.
by the way. They did stuff like that.
Dollhouse is amazing. It's made by the same guy that did Firefly and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so you know it's good.
And Avengers.
Oh, and Avengers. Yeah, he did Avengers too. I guess that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Dr. Horrible's sing along blog, which they are making a second one. TBD.
That's gonna be great.
They've got it written up. It's just getting all the actors and stuff done or dealt with. Oh yeah.
So robots.
Then it needs to go on Broadway.
I would see that.
Yep.
So yeah, let's we've been on for a little over an hour now, and we're just gonna leave you guys with a couple of thoughts.
Mhm.
We will be back. We're gonna start wrapping things up here. We will be back. 1 month from now, December 5th, I think, is the next Saturday.
I believe so.
December 5th, 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern time.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, I want you guys to think. Tweet at Streams for Dreams. What your stance is on, do robots have souls?
Do they have souls?
Like,
And why? Why do you support your position? This is classic high school level.
I also just told them
thought.
to do this on Twitter. This is a
So,
140 character limit.
That's the challenge.
Oh my gosh.
We're not asking for an essay. You're welcome.
So can we have robots fight each other, and will it be okay? We have BattleBots now. What about when they know things? Futuristic robots. Soul? No soul? Can they fight each other? Can they not? Let's hear it. So in the meantime, follow us on Twitter. We'll check out our website, streamsfordreams.org. We'll be announcing new things every now and then. Might do an event here and there.
Yeah.
And while you're at it, you should click on the cool little Counter-Strike Facebook.com/TekkenGames logo down below the stream. And join that Tekken Games Facebook group. There's a lot of awesome discussion that goes on there. A lot of posts every day about tech and games.
Yeah, don't be afraid to just join and lurk.
Yeah,
A lot of people do join and just lurk.
yeah. Lots of good people like talking about stuff, and you can always find someone who's interested in something
Yeah.
that you haven't been interested in before, or like haven't heard about before, or you can share something new.
Yeah, it's a good
We got-
place to share knowledge and to learn new things. So
Yeah,
keep up
like
to
I
date
just
on
looked
stuff.
over there, and the backwards compatibility list for the Xbox One has leaked, and someone just posted that. I'm looking at the full list right now,
Oh,
and yeah,
Sweet.
there's things like that too. You just news before you get a chance to see it somewhere else. It's great.
yep. And Tekken Games also just launched their new site recently. Just a reminder, TekkenGames.gg. Link is right there.
Indeed.
And you guys should definitely check that out. It's pretty new, and we'll be Adam and all the mods over at the Tekken Games group have been working their butts off to get that site launched, integrated with Facebook, and get content going, reviews, articles on new things, like all kinds of stuff, and they're doing a really good job with it.
yeah,
I really like the site,
yeah, me too.
so we might be contributing a thing here and there every now and then
Yeah, maybe.
as well. So should be fun.
Actually, there is a post up there right now about this very stream. So
Ooh,
Is it really? Sweet.
there is.
We're honored.
I'm gonna pull that up right now, actually.
We appreciate that support.
Whoa, there's our logo. Oh, there's a puppy.
Okay, you can't look at this stuff and not share it on stream.
Or I can and just keep it to myself because
Yeah, I guess you'll just have to go and look yourself. You know, I guess that's what it'll have to be.
or I
And
can.
for kind
Pull
of
up.
going back to that, for people who were watching when I was going over the Elite controller, I did a full review on there on it, which you guys can check out too.
That article is right here. Oh, there's an unboxing and first impressions video here on the
I
site.
need to at some point go back and kind of see how my first impressions lived up to what I ended up finding, but maybe kind of summarize that later. But yeah, it's there.
So this is all the content from just the past like week or so.
Mm-hmm.
So they're definitely pumping out some good content.
And from a lot of different people too. Really happy with where we have got regular people contributing to it. And we're really happy for that. And it's also really exciting too, because we set this platform up and we're kind of moving forward to make it a publishing platform for anyone to be able to write articles like this. And really seeing some amazing work by some of our writers so far.
Here's a lot of stuff on the Facebook group. Just lots of posts.
Right over.
Lots of discussion going
Yeah,
on.
it's a good mix of everything.
And you can get to that by clicking this little Facebook group thing on the site. All right. With that, I think we're going to call it a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
I
So-
think we had
Covered
a
a
lot
lot.
of fun today.
Yeah.
Maybe we might bring some different people in next time. Really get this discussion going.
We should do the what's the thing that Tracy Jordan went on? That one episode of 30 Rock, sports something.
Oh,
Shout-
sports shouting.
Yeah, we need to get that. We need to get like 5 people in here, of just like yelling over each other,
Like
talking
we'll
about
all try and talk. At the
Yeah.
same, just have each other muted, and then just all of us talking at the same time.
yeah, just whichever one, like whichever voice stands out to you, that's the one your ears will listen to.
Yep.
I think that would work.
Exactly.
All right, so with that, we're gonna see you guys off and have a great day.
Yep.
Have a great
See you
night.
guys later.
You guys.